I used to hear people say, raising kids isn't that hard. When they sleep, you sleep. Well, now I say, don't give me that crap. Raising kids is an endless job with no clocking out. Even if I'm lying down and the baby is fine, my brain just won't shut off. Rest? What's that? When I was pregnant with my first daughter, I slathered on anti-stretch mark cream daily, but still got them. I posted a photo on social media to show what real stretch marks look like because, let's be real, every belly I saw online was perfect. I wanted to keep it real and encourage others. Besides that, my pregnancy was mostly smooth. I only had occasional nausea and was playing video games right up until labor. Looking back, I was so naive, blissfully happy, enjoying walks with my husband. Everyone was extra careful with me because it was my first time. I always imagined I'd cry tears of joy when my baby was born. But the reality? It was a horror show. Her head came out, got stuck, and kept turning because, well, she's a living being. It felt like something out of a horror movie, not touching at all, just pure terror. When she finally came out, I laughed, not from joy but relief. It was finally over. That initial joy lasted only a few days. For months, I barely got 3 hours of sleep a night. She cried constantly, and I had no idea what she wanted. I'd hold her until she fell asleep, but the moment I put her down, her eyes would pop open again. She was just over 6 pounds at birth, the tiniest person I'd ever seen. I was terrified I couldn't take care of her. Sometimes she'd be quiet, but I'd wake up in a panic anyway. Work never stressed me out like this because work has an end and I could sleep after. But this was a never-ending nightmare. I felt like I was losing my mind. When I was pregnant with my second child, it was even tougher. Something about the position of the pregnancy made it painful to lie down, so I had to sleep sitting up. It felt like everything was going wrong at once. I wanted to cry, but the kids were crying too. Even when my parents came to help, my body was so used to waking up every few hours. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat properly. Meals were always cold because the kids would start crying just as I took my first bite. I couldn't even use the bathroom in peace. But I desperately wanted to be a good mom, to give my all to my family. Every day was just a series of tasks with no room for feelings. My daughter was 2 and my son was 1, and it felt like they never grew up. I fed them, taught them, but they never seemed to learn to eat by themselves. Once things settled down, I should have been happy, but I was drained. I kept telling myself to stay positive, to be happy, but no one can be happy all the time. Trying to be perpetually happy is unrealistic and unhealthy. I had built up so much exhaustion that once things improved, I didn't have the energy to be happy anymore. In those moments, I started to understand my mom better. She had 4 kids and depression, and used to say her life would have been so much better without us. I never wanted to be that kind of mom, but now I see her perspective. I don't want my kids to bear the burden of my unhappiness. More importantly, I shouldn't be stuck in a mindset of self-sacrifice. I need to take care of myself first. If I'm well, then everyone around me benefits. So I started focusing on myself, exercising, getting sunshine, and staying hydrated. I stopped avoiding my unhappiness and faced it head-on. Before having kids, I always thought I had to be happy and never allowed myself to cry. But life is a mix of emotions. You can't just power through everything. People are complex. You can feel joy and exhaustion at the same time. Becoming a mom has given my life meaning. Before kids, I felt like life could go any which way. But now, I want to live well for them. Good health means I can watch them grow, get married, and experience life. I can hike with them and explore the world together. Despite the happiness children bring, I also acknowledge my struggles. I embrace all emotions because they're all parts of life. When storms come, instead of trying to fight them, sometimes you just have to go out and dance in the rain. Life's a play with highs and lows, and every scene, no matter how tough, will eventually pass.